Oh, right. All right. Well, week's been going, week went pretty good, pretty good. Definitely cannot complain, you know. Um, I've been checking out some of the March Madness games and everything like that. The tournament's just getting started, but I haven't really gotten too much into it, you know, as far as looking at all the games and stuff like that. Like, I haven't really checked out too much of it at this point, so I don't have a ton to say. But I will say this. I will say this one thing, and I mean, I know some people saw this earlier. I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it, but I will say this: when you deal with social media and you're in that social media platform and people are looking at you, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to act like you're a Rhodes scholar. There's no need for that. Just keep it simple, simple and plain. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like basic math, saying one and one equals two. You don't have to sit up here and make a thesis statement about why one plus one equals two. Like, it's as if, because you look like you're trying to, you just want to hear yourself talk just because, and it's not necessary. It really isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like like, social media is a good platform, and it's a great platform for people to speak on and express themselves, whether good, bad, happy, or sad. You know what I'm saying? And I hate it when it's used in a wrongful way, and it's very annoying when that does happen. And I want to say this though too as well. To Madden Freestyle, or Mr. Smith, some of you may see him on Twitter, is that, that's his handle. To him, I definitely, for those of y'all that don't know, he had lost his wife. You know what I'm saying? And that's as drastic as it possibly can get. He lost his wife the other day, and the thing that had blew my mind, that I didn't see until later on, was that he had you know he tried to take his own life. He busted out he took a picture on Twitter and everything with the bag of pills and all that. And I mean, he tried to commit suicide, saying that he was about to join his wife. And thankfully, he wasn't able to be successful with that. But even now, like, I mean, looking at the tone of the tweets that he's posting right now, he's still posting saying, "Hey, you know what? They got me in this suicide unit, but hey, I wanted to be able to make my own decision. I wanted to be able to carry out my own choices with, because that's the decision that I chose to make." And that's, like, that's really jacked up. And I mean, and I'm saying that, like, I can't. I've had close calls happen potentially within my family and everything, but I can't speak on loss on that level personally. As far as a spouse, I can't speak on that, and that right there is truly messed up. Because I can't say how, oh, you shouldn't have handled it that way. You can't tell anybody how to handle anything. Not on that level. Like, you can't. Okay, you can't. And like I said, I'm just thankful that he was not able to complete the task, but he tried. And I'm really fearful for him, and I mean, I'm praying for the absolute best to come of that situation, because Sim and I touched base on this offline, but before the show here, but like what Sim had said, like, what if he was successful and you already, it's already bad enough his wife, let alone him. What if they're both at the same time? And then what kind of impact is that going to make on your family? You know what I'm saying? That's just messed up altogether. And I mean, I know that in social media, people make light of prayer and things like that ain't like it's not a big deal or whatever, or just thoughts and prayers is some kind of cliche statement. But prayer is real. You know what I'm saying? Prayer, the power of prayer should not be underestimated by any stretch of the imagination. And I mean, that I definitely am interceding prayerfully on his family's behalf, and especially with him because of what has happened, and even on his wife's family. Because I mean, these are two whole family lines that have been that are being dramatically impacted, no matter how you look at it. So by all means, keep his family lifted up, keep him lifted up, no matter what. I mean, yeah, his mind frame is not in the right place right now, and I definitely understand that it won't be for a minute. It's gonna take him a minute, but it's just a bad situation that happened with him all around. Extremely unfortunate. So, but all other than that, I mean, that's basically my week. My week's good, but I mean, that right there is a black spot, in it with that happening. So, but I mean, definitely support them, as best as we all possibly can, or avail yourselves as best as possible as we can to give words of encouragement, anything of that nature that we can spare or that we can give to him is all, I'm pretty sure his family appreciates that, and him too. Yeah. Okay. Hello. All right. See, right now I can't hear you. Can you guys hear us still? Hold on. Can you guys hear Sim? Let us know in the chat if you guys can hear Sim or not. You can't hear Sim? Okay, they can't hear Sim. Oh, they said they can only hear me. Can't hear Sim, but can hear Smitty. Can't hear Sim. All right. Only me. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, got you. All right. Sim's trying to get it. Sim's trying to get it to work. Thanks, you guys. He's trying to get it back up and working. Um, I'll send you guys the Twitter handle. Hold on one second, you guys. Let me see. Okay.
Yo, yo.
Hey, what's up?
All right, there we go.
All right. Can you guys hear Sim? Can you
Yeah,
guys hear Sim now?
they, sh-
I hear Sim,
they
but can
should
you
be able
guys hear?
to hear me now. Let me fix this thing up. Let's see here. Probably sound
Okay.
a
Yep.
little
They hear
low.
you now.
All right, here we go, guys. I don't know, man.
All
OBS
right.
was bugging out on me. I don't know what was happening, but here we are. We are back at it. Just wanted to tack on to what Smitty said, man. Very unfortunate situation. I don't know Mr. Smith that closely. I mean, obviously, I know him from Twitter. But yeah, man, I pray for him and his family. Definitely the tragic loss of his wife. Like Smitty said, I can't imagine that. On a spouse level, have I lost somebody extremely close to me? I have, but not to that degree. So you know, for people who are going to go out there and say, oh, he's stupid and this and that, and, you know, even religious people that would say, well, you know, you should never commit suicide. We all know that. But guys, have a heart. You know, in the midst of what he's going through, I can only imagine every thought has probably raced through that man's mind. So let's keep him in prayer. Condolences to him in terms of his wife and or family. So yeah, man, that's a tough situation. But anyway, guys, we'll go ahead and try to lighten the mood here if we can. Let's give a round of applause, man, and see if we can get happy real quick. Whew. Tough situation to start off with right there. We'll go ahead and get into the topics, guys. You know, as far as tonight, we want to talk about this Google Stadia gaming platform. And I'm going to let Smitty kick that off when we get to it, because we'll probably do that first, because I know Smitty is all over this one. Definitely want to hear what he has to say about it. But then also, man, I want to talk a little bit about the return of the super user in Madden 19. This is in regards to the recent video that shout-outs to NY Kia that NY Kia posted. And, you know, just displaying his frustration with the way you're able to move all over the field when you're user controlling a player. And it's funny because he showcased it in his favor, where he was able to take away 3 routes with 1 player. And we're just going to talk about the little stuff like that, man, which is things that we've been talking about for a very long time. But then also there's a few more things here to tackle tonight, man. We want to talk a little bit about the Madden devs can't focus on the narratives. And I will explain to you what I mean by that. And then the last thing I want to talk about, man, one of you guys sent me a tweet and asked if Smitty and I could talk about Maximum Football, the Doug Flutie Maximum Football 2019. And from my perspective, Smitty, I'm going to talk about the reason why I do not play that game. So you guys might want to stick around and hear that. But outside of that, man, that's what we got for you guys tonight. So Smitty, let's kick it off with this Stadia gaming, man, because my brother-in-law actually sent it to me. I had heard about it, but I hadn't had the time to research it myself. But he sent me the clip, and obviously we know what it's all about, and it looks very, very interesting and very intriguing. So my question to you, first of all, do you like the idea? Second of all, do you think it will change gaming forever, and is that a good thing? And what do you see as potential positives and negatives of that type of platform?
Well, I mean, I would need to look at it a little bit more as far as the negative side of it, but what I think on the positive side of it is that, number one, you don't have to have a beast computer in order to be able to run this. That's the key thing.
That's interesting.
They ran everything with minimal settings, minimal set computers, or just middle of the road. Not even mid grade. Like, they just got basic computers, and they started playing the game on. I think this can be epic, and this was something I hinted on a little bit earlier on when I was streaming. When we were, you know, Sim can relate, and even some people in the chat can relate to this. When we grew up, you know, in the 90s, and when we saw these games come out back then, and we heard about futuristic kind of stuff, we weren't sitting there saying like, man, yeah, right, if they do that, that's gonna be broke. Man, that ain't ever gonna work. Man, that's not possible. Like, we didn't give that kind of, you know, feedback. So when I look at this as, yo, this would be not only groundbreaking, but this would set a brand new standard across the entire board. Because the cool thing is that the engines that they're even using are engines that are mainly used across the industry. So it's not like they're being pulled out of their comfort zone. See, like how we talked about how we've touched base, and you know, there have been videos put out there about when EA went to Frostbite and how dev teams are having difficulties developing on that tech and stuff like that. The cool part about this is they're not telling people, they want people to develop on something common, whether it's new or if it's just part of their development course and that's it. Letting these dev teams and stuff get dev kits, indie gamers, indie developers, being able to request dev kits. Well, excuse me. So then that way they can develop for this platform. What's also cool is that you can use your own controllers for this platform.
That's correct.
You don't have to use what they suggest. If you like PS4 the way it is, use a PS4, a PS4 or a PS1 style controller. Use an Xbox controller, use a GameCube controller, like whatever format works best for you, you can do that. And also what's cool is you play a trailer and you can straight up just play it. As soon as you look at the trailer, I want to try this game out, hit a button, and you can jump right into that thing. That's crazy right there. Especially if it's available, if it's something that's available that you can play right then and there, go ahead and go for it. I love it. I love it. Oh, excuse me. What else? What else was a key thing to me? I mean, I know that it's over, internet connectivity and things like that. And this is a service that we're talking about as well. So, and even in that, that's a cool part of it in its own right, and this is another part too, like they highlighted, getting tips and things like that. All you got to do is you can ask in game while you're in the game. You don't have to jump out. You don't have to pull up YouTube on the phone, do anything like that. You can just go right ahead, ask for the tips, and go ahead and play. And this is the other part that I like too, because this is stuff that we do online anyways. I see Shakedown do it, and I've seen other gamers do it too. When it comes to playing with, hey, I want to play. Who wants to play with me today? Who wants to play NBA 2K with me today? I need some people to run at the rec center. They could straight up request to play with you. Like, as you're playing, and just easily join in on you via, I think through YouTube, they said they was going to do some kind of integration or something.
Yeah,
that,
some type of streaming.
Like you could easily just bring them in, and they could play right there with you and rock out. Now you approve the request and all that, but excuse me, but it's just something that you as the end user are going to be able to do. The guy that's in charge of the stream, guy or girl. So that's huge for those kind of games. So the negative side of it is just, to me, the functionality of it, stability of this working, because we're talking about a service. We're not talking about a hardwired platform that's going to have all this functionality built into it and you go to the store and buy it. We ain't talking about like a Fire Stick or something like that. We're talking about, this is a straight up cloud-based kind of service where they're going to be able to develop and they're going to be able to do all these different things on. And how's it going to work? Cool part, at least as long as everything holds up, cool part is that we're going to experience it this year. So this ain't something we talking about in the year 2020 or 2021 or 2022 or something. We're talking 2019, this is coming out.
Right.
This service will be out for people to actually, so we'll be able to experience it and see if this is really something good or not. Excuse me. This is the other part that I believe would be a negative, because once again, the society that we're in, we want it now, we want it immediately, we want it, the whole nine. Excuse excuse me, I wonder if this is going to be in phases before all of this functionality is available to us in terms of this service. So all of the being able to share and being able to do this and be able to do that, is it going to be that accessible out the gate, or is it going to be something that we're going to have to kind of wait? It's going to be more of a pacing kind of phase one. We're going to be able to do this, basically like how Anthem is right now.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get the full game. You just got a piece of it, and now we're going to give you these patches, updates, things like that, and then eventually you're going to get what was originally intended. Now, unlike Anthem, this ain't gonna be no 10-year journey. Ain't nobody gonna give them that much time, even though it's Google. And see, that's the other thing too. With it being Google, I don't think they're going to sit on this long. This is a brand new service. They definitely want to be able to cash in on this. So they're gonna be banking hard on this thing being stable and working. You know what I'm saying? They can't just be out for just a quick cash grab. This has got to be something that is legit, because you're talking about Google going into the gaming stratosphere across the whole board. And that's the other point too. Like Ackerman just said, latency.
Yeah,
that's the other thing that's going to be big too. Even though they talked about it, they had the lady up there who's I guess she's the main person over the games creation for that platform. But they did say latency. They said that latency wouldn't be a problem. They reiterated that like 2 to 3 times, because Sim sent me a video that basically summed up the whole thing. But we've heard that in the past, and that still has been an issue, because of course, even though on stage they showcase this system on a low tier a low tier computer, and it ran, of course, yeah, you're presenting it. So when you present it, you're going to present it as flaw free as possible. You're not going to present it with potential hiccups. That you're already shooting yourself in the foot in that case. So we have to see how this is going to overall be valuable across the whole board, because while yes, like CMAD is talking about, like what CMAD's talking about, there are less demanding games out here that people will enjoy. They're gonna want to get on this because of the high demand games, Battlefield 5, Apex Legends, the Fortnites of the world and stuff like that. Like, they're gonna want to play on this platform. They're gonna want to see those kind of games. I should say not those games specifically, but that caliber of game they're gonna want to see on this platform and see it thrive. So that's going to be critical for them to be successful with it. And I mean, like I said, this is Google, so it's not like Google does not know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They know what time it is. That's why they're number one. That's why they have the best search engines out here, in all the world, and it's been that way for a while. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind giving it a shot if the price point for it isn't bad and it's stable. I wouldn't mind giving it a shot and seeing how the platform is and everything. Like, because it would be very cool if everything does function the right way. So that's the key thing. That's the key thing we got to look out for.
That's my biggest thing, man. Functionality.
Mm-hmm. How
will this thing function? Like you said, what grade of games is it going to be able to handle? These big giant games. I mean, it's interesting that this game or this system or this program, whatever you want to call it, it's very interesting that the main like the source of it is streaming, which has to rely on so many things to get the best out of it. You know, connection speeds and, you know, latency, and I mean all of these type of things that we all know about when it comes to streaming. You know, I deal with latency problems all the time at my job, you know, with software and things like that. So it's going to be very interesting. And that's my biggest concern. Outside of that, okay. I like the fact that it's, you know, it's very seamless, and, you know, you can switch from this and go to that and from there to the TV and back. You know, pretty much they're basically borrowing from what is advertised with the Switch. But with it being more cloud-based, that's very interesting. It's very interesting. It seems like something that they would be able to update quite often. So that's a positive. But like Smitty said, man, the only thing that would be the biggest concern to me would just be functionality. You know, how will this thing function? You know, and not everybody has the internet. And it's a lot of different factors that you got to look at that you cannot ignore. But, you know, I think we've seen this coming. You know, we saw this coming from even when Microsoft initially wanted to produce the Xbox One as being more of a always connected type of machine in the digital platform. You know, so we've seen this type of thing coming to fruition. It just all depends again, man. I think we've all said it. Me and Smitty both have said it. Functionality is going to be key. You know, are they going to be able to get it to function the right way? If they are able to do that, then hey, I'm all for it. I'm interested in seeing where it's going to go. But, you know, a little piece of me, Smitty, man, I kind of don't want to completely get rid of console gaming. You know, it's something about having that console or that PC in the home. You know, I don't want to go completely away from that. You know, so I don't know. I mean, we got to change and evolve with the times, but I'm just one of those people, man. You know, I like to fire up my console, and I don't know. I don't want to rely on all of these things that we're going to have to rely on in order for this thing to work properly. That's the biggest thing that scares me, but we'll see. We'll see. Here's another thing to think about, too. Are there going to be big-time publishers that will be making the games, or will allow games to play on that platform, like your, you know, I know we hate it right now, but your EAs of the world, or your 2Ks, and, you know, the MLB The Shows, the FIFAs, and all of these like big-time titles, the big-time shooters that you like to play. So is it going to end up being one of those type of platforms where it'll almost be like what am I thinking? What's the Nintendo thing, man? Not the Switch. Well, yeah. I guess you could say the Switch, where it would be more like you when you think Mario, you think about Nintendo. So is it going to be one of those situations where the Stadia, or however they're pronouncing it, will have, like, you know, its own titles, like how Microsoft had back in the day, and that's all it runs? You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, 2K won't come over to that. They'll have their own type of basketball product. You know, that's the kind of one of the things that concerns me a little bit. But, you know, we'll have to see. But I don't know, man. I'm all for change, but I just don't. You know, when you start dealing so much with, I don't know. When you start dealing with relying on, you know, internet speeds and all of that stuff, you're starting to get yourself in trouble a little bit. But we'll see. I'm not going to discredit it until I see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But what else we got on the docket, man? Might as well talk about it since I'm actually playing a game which I'm actually losing. Guys, where do I want to begin with Madden and the return of the super user?
Oh,
this game is so I'm sick and tired of this game right now, man. I'm serious. And we make these arguments all the time, right? Even in our league, we all got to deal with the problems. Very true. But I don't know. Maybe I'm cursed. The game doesn't work in my favor. It just doesn't. I don't know how to manipulate the game. I don't. The way I choose to play football, I can't take advantage of the game and have it work in my favor. It just doesn't work. Hold on, guys. I'm getting a call here on Skype. Oh, there was a poor connection. It's trying to reconnect to Smitty. You guys probably can still hear me. This game is riddled with nonsense. The two-man sequencing in Madden now is horrendous. It's horrendous. Hold on, guys. Let me add Smitty back to the call. Give me a second. It's saying there's a poor connection where it shouldn't be. I mean, I have plenty of speed. I don't know what's happening. I might end the call, guys, and try to call Smitty back. Give me just a second, fellas. Y'all hang in there for a minute, please. Yeah, but this game is simply ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. Let me call Smitty back.
All right.
Guys, this game, if you know what, I'm gonna try to chop up the video. I gotta show y'all. Y'all need to see this touchdown that this guy just caught over me. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I'm gonna put it in the stream. I'm gonna try to grab a little piece of it. Dang, I don't know if it's gonna work because I need to. No, I don't. I don't actually need to use my hard drive. I can unplug that. The only thing that won't work is the round of applause, but it's all good. But I'm going to put it up in the stream, and I want y'all to see this. I'm going to zoom in on it. And like I was saying, Smitty, this game, I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't like me. I don't get a lot of the favorable dice rolls. The nonsense happens to me, and I don't know how to manipulate the game. Like, I'm not the type of guy that just sits there and roams around and just waits until that one moment the post is gonna come free. You know, I don't play like that, man. I play off, and I think Smitty broke this down in one of his streams or one of his videos he did during his stream, where he said you can't trust your eyes. That's a problem for me. That's how I play sports. I react. I don't know how to play sports games when I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do this because it's not going to let me do that. And then as soon as the guy he gets to the middle of the field, then throw. No, I can't play like that. I'm a reactionary player.
All right.
When I see the route breaking open, I throw the ball. It's as simple as that. I throw it and anticipate the throws. NY has been continuing to tell me, Sam, you can't do that in this game. He's right. You can't anticipate the throw. That's a problem for me. Because that means I can't play football. Like, you're forced to hold the ball forever and ever and ever. And then the defender knows how to basically super lurk so they can sit on any route that you think you're going to throw. It's ridiculous. And the two-man animations, man.
Oh. Jeez.
You get open, you in open field, and your guy gets sucked back into a tackle. Tackle battles have to go. Smitty, I'm so tired of these tackle battles. Why am I getting pulled back into a tackle battle, and I have 2 feet, plenty of room ahead of this guy? Why are you putting me in a tackle battle? I need somebody to explain that. This game is ridiculous when it comes to stuff like that. It's sad, man, because, guys, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tie 2 topics into one, Smitty.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I want to play a football game so bad. It's the same reason why I still just deal with what I'm dealing with. and we play in the league, you know, and we have a good time because, you know, we talk and, you know, do little write-ups and stuff. It's fun to be in a league with 32 users. But we all have the same complaints. At times, this game is just crazy. Even the dudes who happen to win a lot in the league, they even be like, yeah, but this game is trash. And I'm talking about the dudes who, right now, we're in week, what week are we in? 9 or 10. I mean, this guys is 8-0 or 8-1, 9-0. And they are saying, man, this game is garbage. And it's because of those little things. I know you guys are going to pull history and you're going to say, oh, well, Sim, you always say that it ain't that far away. It ain't. If they could get rid of the stuff that riddles the game, get rid of the over-controlling two-man animations, get rid of the non-responsiveness in RPM, stop allowing people to hover all over the field. Stop allowing the two-man animation to kick in when as soon as you see the animation, you know what the outcome is. You can put your controller down. Stop taking control away from the user. Make physics and momentum and leverage, things of those nature, matter. That's all they got to do. If they correct those things that I just said, this game is off the charts. Yeah, I said it. Off the charts. Just think about it. And then, of course, you got to get the AI right. But just imagine if all of that stuff was independent. Weight, mass, momentum, leverage, all mattered. And there's no two-man animation that completely takes control away from you. I know it has to play out at some point. But can you at least get it to where it's a super close proximity before the two-man animation can play? It's ridiculous. How about this one? And this is the video I want to show you guys if I can get a piece of it before the show's over. You click on to your man. You hit the SWAT and or catch button. And your defender plays this ridiculously stupid animation. Turns his back. And allows the receiver to catch the ball in the end zone. That's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that. I'm sick of it, man. And again, well, like I said, combining two topics into one. People are always saying, yeah, man, you should try maximum football. Or you should try this. You should try that. And no disrespect to, what's the one, man? I'm
Maximum?
Losing. No, not Maximum. The other one.
Axis?
Yeah, Axis. No disrespect to Axis because, like I said, I do support those guys because they've been around. They know what they're dealing with. They're just trying to offer an alternative. But why does everybody keep trying to say, yo, you know, you should play maximum football. It's a way better experience than Madden. Let's be honest for a second. Just for a second. Y'all is not going to tell me on the field that the game plays better. Those games do not play better than this wriggled, like bugged up and frustrating Madden. They do not play better than Madden on the field. I can't play no game like that and act as if my football fix is satisfied. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I cannot do that. Now, will I look at the game and acknowledge the features that it has that I would like to see in a current product? Oh, yeah, of course. But I don't even have to play the game to see that. That's why, you know, in this age of social media, I can see everything I need to know about a game and their features without playing it. But when you talk about gameplay and how stiff those games are, and listen, I'm not busting on those games. I'm just saying, y'all got to keep it real with yourselves. Them games move like almost like Atari games. Maybe not that bad, but y'all know what I'm saying. So stop trying to sell me on the, oh, this game is a way better game. No, it's not. Not on the field. You know? So that's my point. That's why I'm so emphasizing on Madden, because if I need Madden to be a great game until a top tier company produces a football game. Until we hear about NFL 2K returning or Game Day returning, maybe even Microsoft, I don't want to hear about no other game. Because there is no other studio, in my opinion, that's going to outperform what Madden has the potential to do. It just ain't going to happen unless it's one of those top tier companies. Go ask the people at Access. They'll tell you. This ain't easy. It ain't that easy to just whip up a game and it's going to blow the door. No, it's not. So that's the only reason why I be so vocal about, man, get this game right. Because that's all we got at the end of the day to play on these beautiful Gen 4 machines that we have. I need a real football game to play. Madden right now ain't it. It's pissing me off, Smitty. I'm telling you, I'm ready to just... Y'all notice that even my little franchise offline has slowed down. Because the game just... Man, let me tell you. What you got, Smitty, man? Go ahead and add to that. Let me see if I can rip some of this crazy footage here.
All right. No, I mean, to Sim's point, well, better yet, what Kia had pointed out, for those of y'all that may not have saw it, but what Sim basically had experienced was that what Sim basically had experienced, I mean not Sim, excuse me, what Kia experienced, I'm sorry, what he experienced in his game, he showcased where he was able to take away 3 routes with 1 defender lurking in the middle of the field, and he ended up coming away with the INT because, as we know, the super linebackers came back via one of the 2 title updates. That issue came back, and RPM pretty much has been nerfed completely out the game. Because for those that remember, when the game first came out, you saw a bunch of people, can I cut this off? Can you turn off RPM? I don't like this RPM. Can you do... They want to be able to basically be like a snake and slither and slide all over the field, and that's not legit move. That's not legit. That's why you have some people out here saying that the beta was much better than what we got now. Like, they rather play the beta than what we're given. You know, what we're dealing with at this point. And I mean, that's a serious problem. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like what Sim said, even now when I'm playing the game, a lot of core gameplay elements, it's not working. Even with what hold on one second, y'all.
It's crazy, guys.
Yeah, so but no, what I was saying was that you know, when you look at stuff like, you look at the player movement, you look at the zone play, you look at pass placement, you look at trajectories and all that stuff. I basically thought, this is my point. I won't be at EA Play, unfortunately, this year. If I was there and I saw Clint and those guys, I would straight up tell them. Because, I mean, and I'm not saying, like, it's y'all fault. This is the hand they're dealt. But the problem is, the game that we're playing right now, the game that Sim is playing and chopping videos up for and stuff, that we've chopped up videos for, the league that he's in, he's playing a game, we're playing a version of Madden that's out of date. This game right now is out of date. When I stream Madden 12 on PS2 and all that stuff, that's the current game. That's the current game. You want a up-to-date franchise mode that can compete and rival with 2K and MLB The Show? You got to play that Madden. You got to play Gen 2 Madden for that. If you want pass trajectories and pass placement and pass control that rivals what is done in APF and all that people post all kind of videos about, you got to play Gen 2 Madden to get that. if you want to talk about player movement, momentum being respected, proper run animations in general, so that the movements don't look all herky jerky, and actual and positional advantages actually do take effect. You got to play Madden on Gen 2 for that, to get that at a high consistent rate. You're not getting that on this console right now. This generation of games, you're not getting that. That's out of date. You know, that's out of date. What we're getting at this juncture. As you see, I see Sim got that play up.
Yeah, y'all look at that, and let me explain to y'all what you're looking at really quick.
Get the heck out of here, man.
I switch on to this guy. I'm the Steelers, obviously. Look at how they are drawn together. You see where the 2-man animation starts. I'm on him, and I play to SWAT, and this is what they play out. I'm even tried to strafe to get in position. I'm over top of that route. First of all, I had it played perfect because I'm trailing underneath at first, and I switch on to this guy. And look at this. And this is what we're saying. Even if a game has a 2-man animation, right? Can you allow the appropriate animation to trigger? Even if I don't come up with the breakup, if I don't get the interception, if he does score the touchdown, can we get a more believable outcome than that? As soon as those feet start drawing together from the receiver, the play is decided. And that's the problem. Right here. Zip, play is decided right there. You in dead man's land. There's nothing you can do but be frustrated or break your control.
Exactly. So sad.
Ridiculous. I'm going to let that play for a while. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bigger so y'all don't miss it.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at this, man.
See, that's the same thing that happened to me earlier yesterday when I was playing. My wide receiver, except I was the wide receiver, and instead of me, I wanted to go for an aggressive catch because the ball was near the sideline, and the defender was over top. And I got pulled into an animation where basically my wide receiver just jogs, and the DB goes up and goes for the catch. And there's nothing I could do. And I'm up here mashing on the aggressive catch button because I want to jump up and go get it. But they wouldn't let me because they pulled me into a 2-man animation. Just like what's happening here with Sim. Sim could be mashing aggressive catch. He could be mashing whatever he wants. It don't matter. The control's compromised. That's what I'm talking about. And see, this is why I'm saying, you want that football that we should be getting, you got to play that's made by Electronic Arts. You got to go back to PS2 and Xbox. That's the current game. This is not the current game. It's just not. You want to be able to throw. Look, you want to be able to throw.
Oh, I got another one.
See.
Oh man, we're gonna have some fun with this tonight. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna show y'all another one. And see, here's the thing. And shout outs to Brett Lee for the donation.
Oh yeah, shout out to you, man.
Shout outs for that, man. And speaking of that, guys, and you all are hearing me say it here, I've been lazy. I have to go back. I'm gonna get this done this weekend, Smitty, so I can get Smitty his fair share. But what I want to do, I want to go back to probably, I'm gonna say 2017, and I want to look, because you can get your analytics. I want to go back and find every single donation that we have gotten since then on Sim Standard Podcast, and I'm going to split that thing right down the middle. But I've been lazy because I haven't gone to do it, but I'm going to make sure I get that done so Smitty can get his fair share. What I actually recommend going forward, guys, and I know this is kind of shameless plug, but I think I won't do that now. I'll wait till later, but I think I have a better way for you guys to provide a donation. At least so you can provide it to both of us so we won't have to deal with this situation since it's technically on my channel. I think I have a better way that you guys could donate to me and Smitty, and it'll come directly to us. But we'll talk about that later. And shout outs to Eric Thomas. He just dropped one in there as well. So yeah, we're going to get that taken care of. But wait till I show y'all this play. Here's that situation, Smitty, where And don't you hate this? And Kia knows this. Kia has played in this league before. And I'm not talking about this opponent. But there's a lot of people in the league that, you know, okay, they win and they think they're really nice at the game, but they really not. A lot of times, they benefit from things like that. They benefit from ball hawk, which people refuse to cut off. And we have that as a rule in our league, but they still doing it. And the dice roll effect. There's so many times where I'm going to show you, I'm about to pull up another one for y'all. These interceptions that happen because of warping, when you clearly have the edge.
Yep.
And
exactly.
Here's the thing about the dice roll. A lot of people will say, oh, well, you should have threw that differently. No. Y'all are not paying attention. Don't y'all realize the dice roll sometimes dictates the way the pass is made? Or your guy will throw it ridiculously inaccurate. Or your guy will throw it just right into the spot where the defender's going to be. Oh, my God. Ray with the donation right there. See, y'all loading up tonight. Man. We appreciate it, man. We definitely appreciate that. Appreciate it. But, yeah, go ahead, Smitty. Let me chop up this other video here so y'all can see this little clip.
See? Dang, I should, see, the funny thing is, Sim, see, while you doing that, see, I got a clip here. Like, I fired up FIFA 19, and just from looking at just this one clip alone, this once again is the point that I talk about when we're looking at wideout DB interaction-esque kind of stuff happening. And I mean, this is as articulate as it could get. I mean, both guys go up for the ball. One guy has better position than the other to try and head the ball out of there, and the other guy gets the header. And the thing is, positioning, inches, where one guy is at versus the other guy versus the goalie, all of it is respected here. And then you got the ball physics reacting accordingly. It's in FIFA. And like I've said to Sim before, and I've said on this show before, this game is developed across 3 studios. FIFA is. Madden needs to do the same thing. I mean, to be quite honest, that's what it's looking like to me. Because I know Madden is one of the bread and butter titles, at least for North America it is. But FIFA is really the one. You know what I'm saying? That's the cash cow. That's the game that gets all the marbles. That's the one. They sell over, 12 million a year copies and stuff.
Shout outs to Neff, man. He just dropped a donation in there as well.
Oh, man, come on, Neff.
They going off tonight. Y'all guys are doing it big tonight.
Come on, Neff, man. Dang, all of y'all cats. Des, you a fool. He said his girl got her taxes back. You a fool, bro. But nah, man, this is something that we talk about all the time. Like, you know what? Something I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start going into FIFA and these other games and just pull up clips, make feedback based off of that. And I'm gonna put videos together and all that stuff based off of what's happening in that game. That's it.
I'm tired of it, man.
Cause real talk, they're getting it right here, and we're not getting it done in Madden. And then we make these valid points and arguments, and it's like, why is this system still like this?
Da-dun.
Exactly. It's not acceptable. And then that clip from what Sim showed up there, that clip there, oh, he took it down now, but still, y'all saw it enough times. If you play Madden, if you play 1/4 of Madden, you see that happen enough, you like, dude, come on. Like, see, we understand in Madden 16, we got it, okay? We understood. Heck, we were the main ones in the studio saying, man, Oh, we don't like these wide out DB interactions. Like we don't like these 2-man animations. You know, we're not a fan of that.
Here's another one coming at y'all hot and heavy.
Oh, here we go. But he understood. But you know, even with that being said, it's a beginning development. You know, it's a beginning thing. What the heck?
Now let me explain this one to you guys again, because people always criticize me, Sim, you got to make a better throw. Da, da, da. I get it, okay, I get it. But as you guys are gonna see, no safety in the middle of the field. My offensive line is pretty bad right now, and I haven't invested in it. And ironically, that's one of the things that they've halfway gotten right in this game. Not gonna say the interaction is great, but you can tell when you ain't got a good line, bro. At least in our league, you can tell. I don't have time. So again, what I was saying earlier, I'm trying to use what I see. Safety is vacated the middle of the field. That's Randall Cobb. He's great in catching traffic. I try to throw it, and remembering what Kia told me, you can't throw it too early, but I try to throw it right as the break is coming, and look at what happens. How is it that this defender is able to undercut just like that when he's on the outside shoulder of the receiver, folks? You guys who've played football or watched football enough, you can't do that. It's impossible. Deion Sanders couldn't do that. Deion would undercut slants a lot of times because he was playing the inside off the bat and the way his trail technique was. He ain't doing it from that position. That's number one. Number two, again, your receiver is locked into whatever. Oh, there's the dice roll again. And part of this, guys, I don't want to, I don't want to blame and criticize because I don't know. Part of this happens as well when there's things like ball hawk that's on. And I don't know if his ball hawk is on because I've seen this happen too when it's not. But another problem with this game is user input. The override is real in terms of overriding your relative position. Yes, it's cool that you're in control per se when you click on and you hit the button, but there's no way you're supposed to be able to make a play when you're not in relative position to make that play. These are the kinds of things, man, that you have to combat. Yeah, you see what Kia just said? Even my opponent was surprised because he continued to hit the button afterwards, which is the reason why he dives forward. That's supposed to be money. That's the type of throw, that's a football throw that happens in the NFL all the time. Think about your best quarterbacks. How many times have y'all seen them do that? Ben Roethlisberger does it all the time, and that's not Ben, by the way. That's Jacob Eason back there. But guys, I read it perfect. I knew it was going to be a tight throw. The reason why I threw a bullet and I pass led it inside, mind you. Remember what I said. Pass lead decides when it wants to work. Because let me tell you, this dude, Jacob Eason, will throw the ball to the other end zone sometimes. He's so inaccurate. And he's a superstar with relatively high ratings. I don't know what's going on with that. But either way, I promise y'all, I pass led this inside. This is the throw I got, and that's the result I got. Come on, man. Yes, Chris, and thanks, Chris Thomas, for the donation as well. Yeah, you're right. When you're user controlling a CB, you can pull off all kinds of press moves. You rarely see the computer do it. The computer usually ghost floats around the field because, again, that RPM is not intact. But yeah, Smitty, what do you think about this one?
I mean, on that animation, like, number one, see, before all the nerfing and all that stuff happened, that would have been a catch. If this was the NASF demo, the beta, that would have been a catch. No way to have been an INC because he would have been out of position. But see, that's that big time issue with the whole, the angles and how defenders are all of a sudden. And this happens with the CPU too. How is he all of a sudden able to just change his angle? I mean, there he was motion shifted, but you still have instances where players are able to run like that in stride, keep their speed, momentum, all that up, and then they can turn on like a literal dime just straight unnaturally reposition themselves and put themselves on an angle to undercut the pass and either break it up or pick it off. And stuff like that, once again, is unacceptable. It's not happening in FIFA. It's not happening in NHL. Why is it? Heck, that doesn't even happen in UFC when it comes to throwing punches and kicks and where they land. I mean, it's not happening like that. And if it does, it happens in a very small margin. How is it that in the sport of football, where it's all about inches and everything else and slight advantages and stuff like that, this is like...
Oh, I got another one.
It's second fiddle. See, and this is... wait, are you capturing these clips as they happen?
Right now. No, I always record. I always record it on the PlayStation as well, because I'm not always... Like, especially during the show, I can't have the Elgato running, because the audio would be in the stream.
Oh, gotcha.
So I just record it in-game, and then, you know... Even if I don't, these are some of the highlights. So I just went back into the highlight and recorded that way off the console, and then, you know, transfer it to the computer with the hard drive, my external hard drive.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh boy, this is the one I really wanted to show y'all.
See, here we go.
Oh goodness gracious.
See, here we go again.
Wow, look at this.
See, once he put that up, that's gonna be crazy. See, this is what I'm saying. This is the kind of stuff that'll happen regardless of these mods. So when we tell y'all, you know, like the Nectar mods and Sabo and all that, we love those mods. They do make the game feel better offline, but the problem is ultimately all this stuff still happens, and it's still happening every single game. So regardless of what these mods bring to the table, which are good things, this stuff is still persisting, it's still overriding the game, these problematic areas that are very head scratching but nevertheless aggravating, especially if you go off of playing like for me, I play the division and then let's say, you know what, I feel like playing some football and I'll go ahead and play Madden. I'll play Madden 19 and then I'm up here, I'm upset. Why? Because of the way this game is functioning. And I'm like, come on. Like, this is embarrassing. And it's the kind of stuff, it makes you want to rant. It makes you want to just go off because of how it's coming out. You know what I'm saying? And how this game is. And I'm like, these dudes are running tournaments off of this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The way this game is playing right now. This game is, and that's what I've said this in the past. If this was the fighting game community, Madden, you would never see Madden on a tournament stage. It just won't be up there because of all the problems that the game has. There's no way in the world they're gonna let this game be on a tournament stage where people are gonna play this game for money, with as bug ridden as this game is and as exploitive as this game is. Because look, in fighting games, just like people playing that Mortal Kombat beta right now, they look for the exploits in that too, and they're like, oh man, this is exploitable, that's exploitable, this could be a problem, that could be an issue. They point all that stuff out because they'll tune all of it before this game is truly tournament ready. Like this game's gonna be part of Evo. So it's already, that's one of the major fighting game tournaments, and the game's not even out yet. So them doing the betas and getting all that information and intel about what's potentially an exploit of their game, yeah, they gotta fix that stuff, because otherwise what you're gonna see is people in these tournaments, they're gonna try and game the system. And you can't have a game, you can't have your fighting game up there that's gonna game the system. That's why it'll be gone. That's why you see fighting games that are on that stage that are like 4 or 5 plus years old, and they're still playing it because the games hold that much value. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah.
I'm playing Oh, I'm sorry. Isn't that like the APF videos that we see put up? The NFL 2K5s and the PS2 Maddens? Those games hold value right now because
Oh,
the quality and integrity of those games over what's out right now.
here goes a doozy. Check this one out, Smitty. Now, this is the last one I'm going to put up. Now,
right.
when you see it from the beginning, you might say, "Oh, that was bang bang play." Look at the ball. Watch the ball. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen that movie, Employee of the Month. Remember when the guy was like, "Watch the oats, watch the ball, look at the ball, watch." Now this looks like, oh man, bang bang play. First of all, I don't like how my guy just stood there and did the generic catch animation. But watch the ball. Here comes the dice roll. Zip. Ball zips to the receiver. Look at that.
Yep.
Come on, man.
See, this is where talking about ball physics and things like that in FIFA, puck physics and NHL kick in here. Because in FIFA, and definitely in FIFA and PES, if the ball is on that direct line, it's staying on that line. It's not going to just all of a sudden divert because, user input for catch or user input for header. So that means the ball's just all of a sudden going to go from going straight to all of a sudden slant in the direction. No, the only way that ball is going to slant is if the ball bounces off of another surface, or in this case, another individual. If it bounces off the defender's hand into the receiver's hand, then that would be a catch. That's FIFA ball physics right there. This right here, this has been Madden issues for the longest time. Which on PS2, it happened on PS2 and all that as well, but not like this. Not at this rate at all. You know what I'm saying? Usually if somebody's hand is there, it's getting deflected. For the majority, I would say 70 to 80% of the time, it usually is getting blocked. Their hand getting in the way usually is respected. Here it's not being respected. You got the respect in FIFA. You got the respect in NHL. You got the respect in UFC. Why don't we have it here? And I'm not saying NBA Live because Live's got the same problem too. So
EA typical.
This game right here, this is a problem, and it needs to be fixed. Once again, what did Rex say? All of this stuff right here. What did Rex say? I wanted to fix core gameplay. Marketing. Of all people, marketing. The marketing department is telling the core gameplay guys what can be done with their title. Oh, we can't market it. Really? Well, a little exhibit here. See, in NBA Live 15, you look on the back of the box. It said all new gameplay. They said 500 plus core gameplay improvements. Deliver a truly fluid, fun, and responsive gaming experience. With all new real-time physics in the paint, every drive, post move, and collision has the opportunity to be highlight of the night. They didn't list and say exactly what they fixed, but they said over 500 core gameplay improvements. You telling me you couldn't do a spin on marketing? So you could do this for Live, but you're telling me you couldn't do that for Madden? The marketing department couldn't do that? You couldn't say we did all these fixes and then you could have said core improvements to the game. Like, hey, that's all. You could have easily said that. And then whatever new features you had that year, you promote that on top. They easily could have done that. But I guess that was too hard of a hill to climb, apparently.
It's crazy, man, because just to comment on, I see what Ray said. He said it looks like the Malcolm Butler interception. And here's the sad part. In regular speed, it did. It looked like, wow, what a great play. But the problem is, again, and like I see Air Raid said, like Versus used to say, Skynet. Yeah. The problem I had with that particular play is you clearly see that the ball at the last second physically shifted over to the receiver. I'm not even that upset that Mike Hilton just sat there and then put his hands up. Those are those things where we can say, well, maybe we got to account for the decision that the DB made. Instead of being aggressive, he just thought it was coming right to him. All right, I can live with that. But the fact that the ball is warped and shifted over shows you that that organic situation is not organic. That is the problem. And that was probably the least worst, of the other situations. But these are the things that you see all the time when you're playing people online. And I've even shown people examples, just like Kia did, shown examples of when it worked in my favor and I still had a problem with it. Because it ain't about win or loss. It ain't about my guy making the play, not making the play, scoring the touchdown, not scoring the touchdown. It ain't about that. It's about, I want to see football replicated. I would have felt even better had it played out and the ball didn't move, the receiver undercut my defender, and I would be like, oh man, why didn't he go after a swat? But I couldn't really beef about it. We've seen this happen in the league. But seeing the ball shift like that completely shows you that this game has too much scripting. And again, guys, I'm going to say this one last time because people seem to think that we don't acknowledge that games are scripted. Every game, every video game that you have has some level of scripting. Every single one. What is unscripted is the way they allow animations to interact. That's why FIFA is so beautiful. They allow one-on-one interactions to play out. They allow whatever the guy's position is to matter, his leverage to matter, the physical contact. They allow all that to matter. Now, what's scripted in FIFA is the fact that, okay, these two are about to go for the ball. What's unscripted is what happens when they go for the ball. We don't have that in Madden. I can't think of one situation, Smitty, in an interaction where whether it's wide out DB or in the trenches that I can say that's organic. Not one.
No.
The most organic thing about Madden, and you don't even see this as much, but there are organic tackles. Sometimes you see the physics kick in and play out the right way. But that's it. There's not one single interaction that I've noticed that I can say, oh, that was organic. Especially in the trenches. The same move. I mean, it's the same animation whether you win or lose. There's no variance, no diversity of moves or attempts, whiffs, and losses. I mean, oh, man. And it's not that far away. That's why it frustrates me to no end. These things are achievable, guys. That's why, and again, Smitty, I know we say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again. We continue to beef about this because there is a game. Even if we take MLB The Show off the table, if we take 2K off of the table, there are 2 sports games made by EA Sports. It's in the game. Two sports games made by this company that do all of what we're talking about here tonight. That's the reason why it's beef. And the community, I will comment on a comment I saw earlier. Somebody said that, you know, the community is the reason for this because you saw how many people was justifying Kia's video. You know, saying, oh, you should be able to do that. That's part of the problem too. But another part of the problem is that people don't want to allow real football to play out.
Right.
That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. Like, there's no reason why Madden should be the only game that doesn't function the same way your other sports games function. Why is that? So we can't keep giving them the excuse of, well, you know, it's all about the money. No, I don't want to hear that argument no more. Madden don't even, yeah. So 2K
not about the money.
Exactly. Madden ain't even the highest selling game there. So why I mean, I get it. It could be the reason, but what I'm saying is I'm not allowing that to be the reason for me to say that's why. No, forget that. No way. Now, y'all choose. I'm telling you, man. It's Tiburon, man. It's something going on at Tiburon. EA Canada don't have that problem. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me see. Did we miss anything else on the docket? Oh, let's go ahead and tackle this, Smitty. This will be the last thing, and then we can wrap up.
All right.
Guys, the Madden devs have to stop focusing on narratives. What I mean is, and it's perfect. The comment that, let me see if I can find the comment so I can give you your proper credit. Where is it? Oh, D. Charles. What up, D. So D. says, the issue is the Madden community justifies these actions. When I seen dudes justifying NY Kia's covering 3 routes, I knew we were in trouble. He said it was like 7-to-1 ratio when he first checked. That's a narrative. The narrative would be, no, I should be able to do that. I should be able to take away those routes. If I recognize them fast enough, I should be able to do that. Yeah, that's a narrative. Trust me when I tell y'all this. I've been at Tiburon in that office with competitive players. This ain't no disrespect thing because Skimbo knows how I feel about him. Problem know how I feels about him. Hey, Serious Mo knows how I feel about him. I met these guys and I was at an event with them. I'm not talking about them. But there were some other people, and again, I'm not a chump. I'm not a sucker, so I'm not gonna say their name. I ain't doing that. We ain't really got to do all that. That's between us. I ain't leaking no information unless they leak it. But there's some other guys there, right? And stuff like that, they absolutely think should happen. They absolutely felt like every throw should be a dot. Every catch should be a catch. Should never be a dropped interception. There should never be fumbles. I mean, this dude was all about absolutes. And I'm like, see, I looked right at Rex then. I said, dog, excuse me, Rex. I was like, you can't listen to these narratives. You can't listen to these narratives. I told Clint that. I tell A-Dub that. I tell RG. Every single developer that I have a relationship in that building. Some of you guys don't even know. My boy Scant. Will Sykes. I mean, a lot of people. I tell them all. Stop listening so much to us. And some of y'all might say, well, what do you mean by that? This is what I mean. Y'all have a vision when y'all in there. Smitty has said this countless times. I believe he even said it last week. Y'all have your own vision when you create this game. It's a bunch of developers as far as the whole team. I mean, from the gameplay team to MUT to online, etc., etc. Y'all have a vision of what y'all think this game should be. You produce it. You produced it in Madden 16. Although, no, it was not perfect. But like Smitty always reminds us, that game right there was on its way. When matchups was really starting to matter. Then all of a sudden, narratives start changing. You start seeing things get dialed back. And then 17 comes out official. Things get dialed back. We playing the 17 beta and we like, yo. 19. Let's skip 18 because we already know that was a wash. We know why. 19 beta. I got people out there telling me, yo, this might be the best game I've played.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody, and again, I ain't even matter of fact, no, I will say it, because he ain't gonna mind. DSK even said, yo, this game might be it. Like, you know, again, still understanding that there's more that needed to be done. But even a guy like DSK that's very vocal like us with criticizing, he was like, yo, right now in the state that this is in, if they build off of this going forward, oh, we good. And that's our point. What happened to that game?
Right.
You just heard NY Kia say it in his video. Y'all took RPM out. Listen, guys like us that was really in the trenches, and I'm talking about we participated in the beta, or we may have gone down to the studio last year. Y'all know that we not lying. See, if y'all don't believe us, NY ain't a game changer. DSK ain't a game changer. Relly ain't a game changer. All these people that was saying what they were saying about the game at EA Play and or during the beta, that's real opinion. Even if you think me and Smitty are biased, which we're not, but even if you think that, I ain't listening to them, they on the payroll. Okay, well, go listen to the other people. Listen to what they're saying. That game ain't here no more. And it's because they continue to listen to the narratives. Oh, we got to change it. I mean, we at EA Play. Smitty remembers this, that year. And they already telling us, we can tell y'all now. This was what, for 18? They already telling us at EA Play that there's concern already. Rex comes in there and was like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know I'm already getting pushback. We might have to dial some of this back. We like, for what? Why? And, you know, people are throwing too many interceptions and the coverage, they're saying the coverage is too good. Coverage is too good.
Right.
Well,
the coverage is too good.
Why is it that me and Smitty is in the back at EA Play, winning some games, losing some games against the CPU and loving it? Like, yo, they got me. I should have threw that earlier. I remember looking over and telling Smitty, like, yo, Smitty, I actually got to anticipate my throws. I can't just hold the ball. I got to. That was a wonderful challenge, and we were successful. Then all of a sudden, here come these narratives. And that's my point, man. They got to stop with that. We never going to get nowhere if we keep listening to each and everybody. Just make football. That's all you have to do is focus on football.
Yep.
All of your competition, even in your own company, has done their best with focusing on the sport. And look at where they are at now.
Yep. Like I said, look at that UFC. When UFC 3 first came out, people were complaining and griping. Man, I can't do combos the way I used to. Man, I can't do this and the third. What did my man reply with? The guy Jeff, one of the main producers on it. He straight up said, in MMA and even in the UFC, this is not what happens in the sport. That's not how they strike. They don't throw combos like that. They don't strike in that sense. Well, okay. And then what? Weeks later, guys play it, and they come back and say, I know I complained at first, and I didn't like it at first, but you know what? He's right. Man. I had to learn, and I had to get this, and I had to get... I'm like, exactly. People gave that game negative reviews and all kinds of stuff at first because there was a curve there. And he was like, no, these actual combos, this is in mixed martial arts. If you actually do research on this, this is in it. Like, no, we're not messing with this because you can't handle it. You have to learn. Essentially, that's what he's just saying. Like, this is in the sport. And I told him, I'm like, thank you. Because this is the problem with other sports titles. They keep trying to dial the game down and dumb it down because people just want to win all the time. Or they want to experience success unnaturally. Like, no, you're going to lose. And you have to. You have to learn to improve and get better. That's just it. You don't want to get better or do anything like that? Fine. Don't improve your game. Don't step up. Don't do any of those things. But don't be coming up here and telling folk to nerf the game down because you can't handle it. And yeah, just like what Sim just said, that's literally what was happening at EA Play. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of stuff that make me want to go over to the Madden booth and just stand there. And I'm like, I want to hear somebody say it. You know what I'm saying? So that way we can start digging in. Like, it's time to start roasting some of these people. Skip all that. Like, because this is part of the problem. And at the same time, like Sim has said, we've been to the studio before with guys that push back on what we say in regards of football or what the devs created in regards of football. And they want some arcadey kind of feeling element or whatever to take place in the game instead of legitimate, valid football happening in the title as it should be. And that's not legit, man. That's not legit. That's not how it should be at the end of the day. Like, this is a football video game title. I want to play football. I want to experience authentic football. You know,
Yeah, man.
and I'll say this last thing too, and then I'll throw it back to Sim. You look at tournament gamers that get all salty and upset because they look at the 2K league and they're like, man, they got healthcare, they got this, they got housing, they get paid a salary, they get all these things. How come Madden don't do that? You need to take a good hard look at yourself as to why that is, because y'all keep messing up this game. This game is not going to grow as long as comp guys and these casuals and stuff keep on whining the way they whine. They want all this absolution in this sport. If you do not evolve your game according to what the game gives you, you are going to be left behind. It happens with fighting games. That's why you see certain fighting games. That's why you see fighting games come and go in terms of popularity, because some games just don't move forward. They just stay in the same spot. And when you do that, you're going to be left behind. They're not going to sit there and say, oh, we're just going to deal with it. See, Madden, you just have to deal with it because there's no other football game. But 2K, like I said, NBA Live is a game that's there. No one gives a care about live. They don't care if live leaves.
I could give two womps.
Yeah, they don't care.
Live.
They don't care about live being around. So he said the sim folks need to own their part. Oh, it's not like, oh, it's on the comp and the casuals because they're the majority. Redemption Gaming, I see his post there. Oh, it's on sim. Don't get me wrong. It's sim crowd guys.
Yeah.
Too. Don't get me wrong. We said sim guys.
A lot of sim guys. I mean, you know, and shout outs to Redemption Gaming. You know, I don't know if you've heard us before saying this, but it's a lot of people in the sim community too that complains about real stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Pete just said it. There are sim Nazis out there as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is not. And again, and the reason why I want to emphasize this in Redemption, I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm just saying this as a general statement. It goes back to what Smitty said earlier in the show, right? You know, Dubby plays around. You know, and Dubby said, "Oh man, I wish I." He said something to the effect of like, "When I think of sim Madden players, I want to fight or something." But my point is, there are people in the comp community, not Dubby, but there are people in the comp community that can't stand the sim crowd, and it's vice versa. And we have to get past that. We have to. If guys like myself and Smitty and Azure were able to be super cool with guys like Farrells and Gibbs when we first met, because that's how we butted heads. Like, man, y'all want this trash? And they were like, yeah, but we only do that because the trash is in the game. We found a common ground. You know what I mean? So we was kind of like, nah, man, it ain't about sim versus comp. And it makes me cringe sometimes, man, when I even watch the Madden tournaments and I'll see sometimes sim guys in there arguing with people. I'm like, dog, this ain't getting us nowhere. Let's all just come together and focus on getting a good product. Because what I do like, Smitty, what I wanted to say real quick, I love sometimes when I'm watching the tournament and you hear the tournament guys saying, yo, this game is trash. That ain't supposed to happen. Even they know that. That's what we're talking about. We all agree on the football stuff. Now, as far as your style of play, you ain't going to have sim out here. And, I hate doing that third person thing. But you ain't going to have me out here saying, nah, you should play like this. You should play like that. No. Tournaments can be, have a style y'all want it. Whatever play clock you want. Who cares? That's cool. I'm not a tourney player, and that's cool. I'm just saying I want on the field, the game, to play football, whether I'm playing as a sim guy or I'm playing on competitive or whatever I'm doing. Just let football be respected. That's all I ask for. That's it.
Yep. And understand Redemption, that what you're saying there literally happens. You know what I'm saying? Everybody comes to the table. Everybody comes to the table, but you still have people that have their own reservations. You know what I'm saying? They have their reservations as far as how the game should play to them instead of it just being football. Like this is what the devs have to offer. Okay, bet. Let's play. Not, oh well, this shouldn't happen, that shouldn't happen, this shouldn't be this way. Can we cut off RPM? Can we do like all of that kind of stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like when we see people that want authentic elements cut out, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You
Big
know what I'm
problem.
saying? That's a big time problem. And it's not like it's not a development kind of issue. It's the end user kind of issue. And it's just like once again, it's just like with this Google, app and everything that they're talking about, this Google service. It's the same deal. You have people complain about it, take up issue with it and complain about it. That's just going to be part of the territory because when you do something new when you do something new and it's not within the norm of what people are used to and accustomed to, oh, of course that can't, it ain't gonna work. It's met with tremendous doubt and second guessing. You see what I mean? So it doesn't surprise me with all that. That's on me personally. I'm like, I welcome the change. Bring it on. I want to see how this actually works out. So, all in all, that's what it is, man. You know what I mean? But like I said, yeah, it's nothing that's targeted at you directly. But like what Ron just said there, it's the same deal. There's a lot of general across the board disappointment and resentment with Madden 19 this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, people are going at it. So it's like, if they try to come with the, you know, similar kind of game again, and they put the focus over and the attention development wise, and it's like, it's on aspects of the game that honestly didn't need to be worked on at this point, yeah, it's about to be another storm again. Another year with a problem like that. So, yep.
And the last thing I'll say before we close down, man, it's a good example would be you watch competitive Madden, right? You watch a tournament. And I understand why, you know, guys roll out the way they do to get in better position to throw balls downfield, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, that's how you want to play. Who am I to tell you not to do that? But where our side of things come into it, if authenticity was being respected, it'll be way harder to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're saying. It would be super hard for people to roll out like that, roll all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and then throw bullets 50 yards down the like, dog. That ain't happening in the real world, not that often. For one, I mean, the block shed ability would be so crazy when you get that far out of pocket. I mean, come on, man. That's what we're saying. I'm not chastising the way they play. I'm just saying, listen, I don't knock. Honestly, I have grown in my understanding of the tourney crowd over the years. I ain't mad at how they play because, listen, you got to do what you got to do to win. And why not utilize whatever is in the game? I ain't mad at that. I'm mad at the game itself. It should be very difficult to do that. Yeah. You know, like Kia's saying, it should be very difficult to pull off some of the things we see the guys do in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. How great would it be, man, if we was watching a game? Imagine this. And I'll end it with this. Imagine watching a Madden tournament game that replicated the Rams-Chiefs game last year.
Mm.
Now, I know people going to say, nah, Sim, man, the scoring was crazy. 54-51. Yeah, but did y'all see some of the outstanding defense in that game as well? Let's not forget Aaron Donald got off in it. That's what I'm saying. I would love watching a real game like that, even if it was high scoring. There ain't nothing crazy happening. Football is happening. Matchups are happening. Great defensive moments were happening. That's what I'm saying. So it ain't about the play style and how you choose to play. It's just about how the game can replicate real football principles to the best of its ability. That's all we ask for. And where real football acumen can really allow you to exceed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I give my hat to Kia, man, because Kia a lot of times is able to still scheme himself to a win. But we've watched his streams. I mean, it's things that happen, and he's like, "Come on, man." You know, if you are that more knowledgeable and you get what you're looking for 90% of the time against somebody that don't know what they're doing, oh yeah, you should be successful.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have to rely on a dice roll. You shouldn't have to rely on a random, occurrence. No. Some guys should be able to get their breaks beat off because you are just out scheming them to death. In a real fashion, not a glitch fashion or a cheese fashion. So that's all I got, man. I got to get myself ready for work. So I got to get out of here. But before we do, Smitty, man, you got any last words?
No, like always, man. Thanks to everybody for coming through. The donations were off the chain. You guys were awesome with that. We appreciate y'all, like always, on that. Yeah, man. I mean, this was a good show. You know what I'm saying? Like, always great having a dialogue with y'all. Like we always say, give us stuff to talk about. Give us some topics, things like that we could definitely break bread on. You know what I mean? Like, we definitely would appreciate to hear it from you guys that listen to us. That take the time and tune in. Like, give us some topics, that you want to hear about. Like, if something does pop off next week or whatever, by all means, let's talk about it. Let's break some good bread. So, but no, that's pretty much all I got, man.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. And Smitty, again, saying it in front of the world, I'm going to do my due diligence this weekend. I plan to take time away and go back, find out exactly what we have earned on this show. At least, just to be fair, let's go all the way back to like 2017. And we're going to break that thing right down the middle. So we will get that to you. I'm about to get me a Cash app because I don't think you have an iPhone. No. If you did, I could shoot it to you that way. But we'll figure it out. I mean, we both got PayPal, but I got to do my part first and foremost so we can break that bread. But outside of that, guys, have a great week, great weekend. Be blessed, be safe, enjoy the NCAA tournament if that's your thing. And outside of that, man, just be blessed and be safe. So we'll catch you guys next week. Hope everybody is good. See y'all later. Peace.
Peace.